From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
All right, so we're going to start to see some big changes here as we go into the next 12 hours or so. Overnight, we're going to notice the changes waking up tomorrow morning. We're going to see a lot less smoke out there, and showers and thunderstorms will return to the picture here for everyone, especially for tomorrow. Saturday, the chances are slimmer, but there are chances in there nonetheless. And we'll take a look at futurecasts here in a bit. But it's going to be dry and mild for most of us in the second half of your Labor Day weekend. Beginning to see better chances for maybe the eastern mountains, seeing some showers once again on Sunday as well. But again, we'll get into that in a second. And then highs for next week looks like they're going to remain below normal. It's going to warm up, but not by a whole lot really. All right, so here's what the smoke is looking like here this evening. We do actually have some smoke kind of coming in here most likely tonight. So it may be a little smoky for some of us in the valley here through the overnight hours, and very smoky out towards western Siskiyou County and northern portions of Trinity County, not to mention Del Norte and northern Humboldt County as well. But what you'll see happen here is, you see how it's starting to kind of dissipate? We're beginning to see at this point rain kind of pushing in this area. So the smoke is going to start to move on out. And then eventually that smoke will begin to dissipate here on Friday as more of that rain moves in. And then of course, as we go into Friday night, into Saturday, more showers in the forecast. And you see that smoke is really no longer an issue for most of us, right? Obviously, places near the fires will still be dealing with some of that smoke. But here's what we have in store for us. I mean, take a look at this. Lightning strikes for the valley for your Friday here with temperatures. Look at that. Temperatures low to mid 70s for your highs. Showers, thunderstorms for all of the higher elevations as well. Temperatures only reaching somewhere in the mid to upper 60s for most of us in the mountains. So a little chilly, I guess you could say, especially for this time of the year. Now, we did see a disturbance kind of push through. It did bring a little bit of rain for parts of Crescent City, Del Norte County, and really over the Smith River complex, which is great. You know, the rain is great. It wasn't a lot of rain, so obviously didn't have a huge impact on the fires, but certainly did help. It increases the humidity levels at least, helping the firefighters a bit. But as expected, it's a very weak disturbance, and it's so dry out there that it's really hard to kind of sustain any kind of shower activity. So once that moves out, we've got an area of low pressure to our north that's going to swing down to the south here overnight tonight and into tomorrow. And that's going to be one of the sources for the thunderstorms we see. So let's take you into tomorrow morning at about 8 a.m. Now, the bulk of the rain and the heaviest rainfall at this point will be in the eastern mountains, and not to mention making its way into Siskiyou County as well. Still not much in the way of rain for the valley, but of course that may change here as we go into the next 12 hours or so. Then we can notice what's happening. You see how we're seeing this counterclockwise spin? That's because the main area of low pressure is now kind of centered over Northern California. So what we're seeing here is isolated showers and thunderstorms, brief periods of heavy rainfall, lightning, maybe some small hail, and you're talking about the potential for some flooding in some areas as well. But there you can see even the valley getting some activity here, not to mention the east, and not to mention even the coast seeing some of that activity as well. Now notice what happens as we go into Saturday. Here's Saturday morning at 6 a.m., a little bit of activity in the eastern mountains, up to the north as well, taking you through the day on Saturday. Most of the activity will be in the eastern mountains, and you can see up towards Modoc County. We're also seeing some activity off to the west into Trinity County, especially for the second half of the day on Saturday and Saturday night. But overall, we're not really seeing much in the valley. Now, that all being said, even though Futurecast isn't showing it, I'm still keeping that chance for showers and thunderstorms for everyone on Saturday. I just think the main event is going to be tomorrow. Now, take a look at Sunday. And this is something that I was wondering about, because this is what we call the American forecast model, known as the GFS. And the GFS, up until today, has dried things out entirely on Sunday. The European forecast model, for the most part, has been keeping that chance for rain on Sunday. But now look what's happened. The GFS, the American forecast model that we're looking at right here, is keeping the chance for rain, especially in the eastern mountains. It's showing a little bit here off into Siskiyou County. That may or may not materialize, but for the most part, I think most of it will be off into the eastern mountains on Sunday. I think the rest of us will be dry, and then Monday is dry, and we take you through all of next week. It looks like all the forecast models agree that it'll be dry through all of next week. All right, let's take a look at that flash flood watch that we do have for the areas in green here. Now, it does include northern Trinity County, western Siskiyou County, and now it includes Del Norte County. Now, notice there are no other flash flood watches anywhere else. I think that may change, though, as we go into the evening and overnight hours. I think we could eventually see some watches and warnings here, especially here. You saw how heavy that rain could get off in the eastern mountains. So there could be the potential for some flash flooding pretty much anywhere you go. So especially some of that heavy rainfall coming in. But what we're concerned about here, in particular this area here, is localized flash flooding, not to mention mudslides and debris flows, especially for some of the burn-scarred areas. I mean, you look at Highway 299, that's a concern here. So if you're traveling on Highway 299 on Friday, be well aware of your surroundings because this is going to be an area of concern here throughout the day on Friday. Let's take a look at the rainfall totals, and this is going to take us through Saturday night until about 11 p.m. As again, you saw not much activity was being shown for Sunday. So really, this is a good representation of what I expect to see here through most of the storm system. And you can see most of it obviously in the higher elevations. I think some of us in the valley will see a bit more than what we're seeing here. It just depends on where you land and where you are and where the heaviest thunderstorms develop in the valley. So again, it could be a few hundredths in some spots to maybe over a quarter of an inch, I think, maybe in some areas in the valley. Of course, more than that in the higher elevations. All right, so here's what it looks like tonight. Mainly clear skies. We're seeing that smoke probably for many of us in the valley here tonight, but that will pretty much clear on out by tomorrow morning and afternoon in particular. Look at our daytime highs here, and of course the chances for showers and thunderstorms. And look at this. I mean, you've got lightning strikes everywhere. Everyone tomorrow has a chance for at least rain and or thunderstorms. And we could even see a few lightning strikes along the coast, by the way, but I think the chances are better as you start heading inland in the mountains and even the valley. So that's what your Friday is looking like. And you can see also these temperatures, right? Looks great. Temperatures low to mid 70s for the valley and for the mountains in the 60s. I mean, we'll certainly take that. So we look at your 7-day outlook, and again, don't be too concerned about Saturday. Now, we do have a chance for showers and thunderstorms on Saturday, but it's not going to be nearly what you saw on Futurecast. We're just not going to see as much activity here. Now, Sunday, I've got you dry for Mount Shasta City and El Turris, but I've still kept the chance in the eastern mountains, a chance for showers on Sunday. Then everyone will be dry on Labor Day, and then it should be dry as we take you through the rest of next week as well. Here's your 7-day outlook for the valley. So what we've got here, without a doubt, I think we're going to see some form of shower or thunderstorm activity for everyone in the valley. Then on Saturday, I've got the chance in there. Keep in mind, the chances are pretty slim. And quite honestly, as we get closer to Saturday, we may be taking out even just the lightning strikes at least. But overall, most of it's going to be on Friday. And then it's dry for the valley on Sunday and Monday. So the first half, and really Friday, is the best chance for thunderstorms. Saturday, really, I think for the most part, you'll be okay. And then especially Sunday and Monday. Notice the temperatures are going back up, but we should stay below normal for everyone in the valley for Monday, pretty much through Friday of next week.